quick heads up before we jump into today's video, I just want to let you guys know that Prop Hunt was actually just jumped up ahead in the current schedule for World War II's The Resistance event. That's something we previously had Demolition first as that first mode coming in week 1, and then Prop Hunt being in week 3 after week 2's release of the Resistance DLC pack for PlayStation 4. But as of this past weekend, it seems like a little bit of a change was made, and now we can see that Prop Hunt is going to be starting tomorrow, Tuesday, the 23rd of January, and then Demolition will be switched around to be that third week content. But then they're also both in there for the 5th and final week in which we get Prop Hunts and Bomb Mosh Pits. But as it stands right now, the changes and everything deal with the contracts and orders in terms of the Prop Hunt versus Demolition and regular contracts and orders. Those are now switched around as well, so the Prop Hunts is that first mode we get for week 1 of the Resistance event. But want to let you guys know that because that's a quick little change. But that said, let's jump right into the rest of the content here for this one. Update, update, update. I feel like every video I make is an update video now, and I do apologize for that because we've kind of gotten off a little bit of the beaten path in which where we came from the past couple of months. But it is something that I think is also nice in a sense because we keep having this open line and channel of communication between Condry and Sledgehammer and the community, that being us, the players. The people that want answers, want to have some questions we want answered, actually getting those answers. And once again, as we've talked about a couple of times here on the channel already, Sledgehammer and Condry have been doing a fantastic job over on Reddit, keeping everything up to date, keeping the community in the loop on some of the plans, some of the structure on things, some of the updates that are going to be coming, and some of the design elements that they decided to do and why they decided to do them. Now, we talked about recently a little bit of some updates and some things that would be addressed in terms of Sledgehammer touching on them, some maybe changes actually coming in-game as well, and this is seemingly what might be one of the final ones to cap off that full list that we ended up having, in which back then we ended up getting the confirmation that things would either be touched on or actually changed about in the sense of sprint out times, the spectating issues at the beginning of matches, domination 50 score per kill, the announcer volume levels, health regeneration, shell shock from friendly explosives, score streaks, and shotgun tunings, to which we've already gotten an explanation as to why sprint out times won't be changed. We've gotten a little bit of a counterbalance to the domination 50 score per kill in the sense that domination XL will be coming. We ended up getting the confirmation that the announcer levels will be reverted back to normal and that bug will be fixed within tomorrow's update. We ended up getting a little bit of the talk from shotgun tunings and a little the explanation as to health regeneration, but we actually get some more of this confirmed to be coming tomorrow. That being what I want to talk about the most here with this, that being health regeneration and shell shock from friendly explosives. These are going to be fine-tuned, one coming tomorrow and one coming in the near future that Sledgehammer has come out and said, you know what, we're working on this, we're looking to fine-tune and balance this accordingly, but it's going to be coming. So in a post titled Vive la Resistance, we ended up getting from Condry once again a little bit of a, hey, this is coming tomorrow, be on the lookout for all of this. And in that included, once again, health regeneration and shell shock talk. But to get this out of the way, some quick house cleaning stuff just to stay up to date with everything on topic here. He also mentioned we'll be getting the Volkswagen, the Orso, the combat knife, the Walther P38, a full confirmation that the spectator bug will be fixed via consoles tomorrow, the emblem and paint shops coming as well, the Resistance Division and the themed headquarters, Prop Hunt during the event, Demolition starting tomorrow, and Domination XL. Domination XL is for the first time confirmed to be coming with the Resistance event. Though we had that hunch, it was never actually entirely laid out there and said that it would be, but keep your eye out on that as well. But as for the health regeneration, let's jump into that first and foremost. This was something that was addressed as going to be coming with a change to increase the speed of health regeneration. So as you guys may or may not know, if you guys have paid attention to the community at all and you've seen a lot of the chatter and talk about it, it is something the community sees the health regeneration currently as being a little bit too slow, or maybe way too slow depending on how you interpret it. And if you were to break it down, the way that health regeneration works within World War II is that if you end up taking damage, you're going to initially have a 5-second base and waiting delay before your regeneration starts. That's something that's equal across all Call of Duties, a staple in how health regeneration works, but it's sort of a limbo period. In COD World War II though, afterwards, after that 5 seconds is up, you end up taking 1 HP of health every 33 milliseconds, gradually going up until you hit, once again, 100 health, to which you're fully maxed out and you're good to go and everything like that. So it roughly equates out to about 8 seconds to regenerate your health fully if you take around 90 damage, and you're about 1 shot from dying. So it's quite a long time, but one thing that also is a little caveat with this is that if you end up taking any sort of, say, fall damage or anything like that while you're in the process of regenerating, it stunts that and then reverts it back and starts it all over. So there's a chance in which you could, say, just get past that 5-second delay in which you end up start to regen your health, but you jump down a ledge to which it knocks it back down and you have to restart the process over. So in that sense, it absolutely sucks, but when you compare it to other titles, previously, like COD 4, you would have that first initial base 5-second delay, but then if you took less than 55 damage, you'd regen instantly back up to 100 HP. But if you took more than 55 damage, it would take 5 seconds on that base delay, then you'd regen your health in 10 HP increments every 50 milliseconds. So if you do the math and equate those out, it shaves off about 3 seconds of your regeneration time. Something that 3 seconds in a game like Call of Duty where it's fast-paced action, that's a lot of time. And then when you take into consideration that it still comes out to about 8 seconds in total, that's something that is just even crazier to think about. So one thing that is maybe a little asterisk on this though is that games like Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 were similar to how World War II works, but because we don't see those in the recent titles, like Modern Warfare Remastered, Infinite Warfare, and Black Ops 3, those titles have more regeneration closely related to that of what COD 4's was, and in the case of Modern Warfare Remastered, it was COD 4's regeneration time. So that's something that might be a little bit of a sort of placebo effect in a sense in which we expect it to be faster, but really it's kind of in line with other systems we've seen. But even with all that considered, Sledgehammer is going to be making this adjustment here in the update coming tomorrow. Now, to what extent, we don't know exactly just yet, but it is something that we will know in a very short period of time. In probably by the time that you're watching this, about 12 to 16 hours from now. So while we don't know the exact properties that will be changed, it will be a little bit faster. Whether it shaves off a few seconds or it's more so in line with COD 4's health regeneration, that's something that we're still yet to know about, but I think anything here is an improvement just because of the way it works. And one thing that I'm really hoping that it takes off at least is that, once again, sort of caveat that we mentioned in which you end up dropping down, you take any sort of fall damage or something that stuns you in that sense, and it restarts the entire process. I'm really hoping that that is taken out because that is something that really hinders the gameplay experience, at least in my opinion. So you can expect that coming tomorrow, and that's going to lead us out of the topic of discussion of health regeneration for this one, and then lead us into the next thing, that being friendly shell shock. Now, this is something that has been on the table for quite some time, and I'm excited to see what Sledgehammer decides to do with this, and I'm glad that they're being open with their thoughts and opinions on it. They ended up saying that this was a scenario in which they wanted to make the realism of danger close concussions be a little bit more visceral and have that World War II gritty vibe to it, and that you really couldn't distinguish from a friend or a foe just by explosion other than the damage. So that's something that they believed held major importance and was something that was a nice feature here in which gave that more atmospheric feel about the World War II aspect of Call of Duty. So that is something that I understand that thought process. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I can see the logic behind it. But they have taken into consideration the community feedback and are going to be making a little bit more of an adjustment here with this. Now, as it stands right now, they ended up saying that they're exploring options to reduce or eliminate the impact during matches, but they don't know just where they're going to end up with the entire scenario at the very moment in time. So my initial thoughts on this are that I want to see some sort of change here to this, but I also don't want to nullify the usage of a certain basic training or a certain division property, because that is something that if you take a look at it, there are division skill sets and things that counter shell shock within the game. And so that's something that if you take away that shell shock entirely, well, then it kind of negates the entire purpose of it, to which maybe you'd have to reallocate that and replace it with something of a different ability for that division. So I don't know how they're going to approach it necessarily, and I think that's also something that they are considering because it is something that is kind of built into the core of some of the abilities of the division system, which is so heavily stressed within World War II. So as for how it will work out, maybe it's just going to be lessened a little bit and not necessarily removed entirely, but I'm certainly all for some changes and some adjustments to the system, because I can tell you, I get stunned by so many different explosives, so many different aerial streaks and everything like that drop a bomb. Whatever it may be, there are a lot of scenarios in which I come across the game and I'm like, man, I could have gotten that extra kill if I didn't have my aim messed up, if I could move a little bit quicker, but instead I'm shell-shocked out of it. So I guess it is something that we will see in time. As for an ETA, once again, there is nothing on the board for this just yet, whereas health regeneration, we have it guaranteed coming tomorrow, but we end up getting some sort of confirmation though that it will be coming soon. So maybe during even the event it rolls out, but as for right now, there is nothing in its entirety that lets us know when this will be coming for players to be able to enjoy the change. So unfortunate, but of course we do know that it is going to be coming, so there is that as a provision per se. But on the bright side, we do have a lot of other things coming within the game that will be nice within this update coming tomorrow. Like we said, once again, detailing that we get Domination XL, we get Demolition, we get Prop Hunt very soon. We get new weapons, new orders and contracts, new themes within the headquarters. A lot of cool stuff is coming tomorrow, as well as bug fixes like the spectator bug issue. Health regeneration, of course, coming as well, so we got a lot of cool stuff to look forward to. Shell Shock will be coming in the future, but it is something that right now, I'm pleased with where we're at in the community. So that said, I think we're gonna wrap it up there, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Do you guys want to see anything in particular change? Do you want to see some sort of change to health regeneration go your way? That feel free to describe. If so, down there in the comment section down below. How would you also tackle Shell Shock within World War II? I'd love to get your thoughts on all of this kind of stuff. So feel free to let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding Call of Duty World War II. We're gonna be killing with the content coming up here. And of course, if you guys are interested in anything regarding tips, tricks, news, best class setups, all the cool stuff coming out of the Resistance event, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing regarding any of it, and it'll keep you guys up to date with all of it. And finally, if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that's the best place to get connected outside of YouTube. Practically live on Twitter, so if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. But all that said, now though, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care, and peace.